Oh, live. All right, folks. So we here. So we've had the Monday night game, and now it's time for the waiver pickups. But before we do that, man, let's we always got to start off in the pocket. Let's go ahead and let that ride.
Put it in the pocket. Come on, DJ.
Yeah, man, DJ Ready Rod ain't hitting on that today. All right, man. So look, we live and then color, and let's get into it. We're gonna recap Monday night's game, go into a few waiver pickups and discussion. I'm sure we're gonna have a few disagreements before the show is over. But let's jump into it. So we got the In the Pocket podcast with the fellas back in the building, coming to you from the big chair by way of the shrimp boat, coming from PG Plaza with the latest, greatest model, the Boost mobile phone, and trying to get things jumping off for week 2. So we got my main man Terrence, we got sleeper King Jose, and so let's get into it, fellas. Last night we had the Ravens and the Las Vegas Ball Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders. So any takeaways from that? We had Lamar Jackson came away with 18 points, right? 86 yards rushing. So he looks like he's trying to return to form. Nothing too crazy, but he's giving you both rushing and passing last night. I think the surprise on the Ravens side was Tyson Williams, right? He gave you 65 yards and 1 TD, plus gave you 3 receptions on 4 targets. So any thoughts, from the Ravens standpoint? Let's start with you, Terrence.
I think it's playing out how we expected. It's looking like Lamar Jackson is having the same start that he had last year. A little slow, but hopefully he'll pick it up for those people who drafted him pretty high. But so far, it's looking like we expected. They pounding the ball, and that's pretty much what we're gonna see. Maybe we'll see a little bit more Latavius as the weeks go by. But
I think interesting. He had more rushing attempts than Tyson last night. For them to get him started early, it showed definite promise where he can potentially have more impact. Not just that one touchdown he had last night. So that'd be interesting going forward. What about you, Jose?
The biggest thing that came out to me was Sammy Watkins on their passing game. I didn't really think I didn't really respect their passing game like that, but Marquise Brown, he showed me that he can get some separation. And man, Max Crosby, defense in for Raiders. He showed me that defense can really get to the quarterback. So I'm gonna keep an eye on Raiders defense.
Okay. All right. So what about the Las Vegas Raiders offensive guys? Derek Carr had a nice performance. I think the game script kind of lent itself to where he was in a position where he had to play from behind and play catch up most of the night. But he ended up with 435 yards passing, 2 TDs. We got into the debate right before the start. We hit the go live button. Are you buying or selling Derek Carr? do you want more of him? Like, are you buying this performance? You think this is something indicative of where you'll be for the rest of the season, or would you look to basically try to maybe sell high at this point in time? What about you, Jose?
Well, I mean, I like Derek Carr as a quarterback. I think he has experience and the knowledge, but his receivers need to grow into their position. Edwards, Ruggs, and then Jones, they all have to get some consistency between them. But with Waller, what I was disappointed is they had like 19 attempts to Waller on 10 catches or 9 catches. So they need to kind of like fix that up. But I'm kind of like holding off on him. I got him in my cart right now. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. I'm not buying or selling him yet.
Okay. What about you, Terrence?
I mean, the man threw 56 times. I mean, I think, if you got to be happy if you got Waller or if you got Derek Carr. So 19 attempts. I mean, I don't know the record for targets, to a tight end, but goodness gracious. So for Derek Carr, I mean, they made some changes to their offensive line. I think he's going to be better than last year.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, me and Jose was having a discussion yesterday during the game, and basically they had a year, at a point in their relationship, him and Gruden, that one of them has to perform, or one of them may be, or Carr may be in trouble. Jose thought that that Gruden may be in trouble, but I figure he got some long money tied to him. So if anybody had to go be cost, I think this is definitely the year for him to, step up and, show Gruden that he's the guy that should be leading the team going forward. And, we talked about their receivers perhaps not getting, not quite being ready for prime time yet. But the way he was throwing the ball, it don't like he cared too much. and with those 19 targets, he's like, look, man, we're going to feed this. He almost
I'm upset because I got Waller, so I got him on my fantasy team, and those 19 attempts, man, they hurt.
You think he should have had a more monstrous performance with 19 targets?
He should have had 200 yards with 19 targets. 20
man,
targets,
I think that's still a good sign though. 19, I mean,
yeah, but he only had 100. He only had 105 yards. What? One touchdown?
That's not enough. That's not enough.
No, that's not enough.
We already know Jose won 5,000 yards. If you get a tight end, if you get a tight end, it's average double-digit targets every game.
Right.
Like you doing something spectacular, right? Because actually, him and Hawkinson are the only two that had double-digit targets for the whole week. Gronk and a few others had 8, but only him and Hawkinson had double digits then, and Hawkinson had 10. So 19 attempts, man. You wide receiver one territory with those targets, right? All right, man. So, and let's take a look. And thinking about anybody else from from Las Vegas that you're looking at?
Drake.
Drake.
Yeah,
you think
Drake?
I know he definitely had a nice game receiving. Coming out with 5 receptions, 59 yards. I'm not sure what he's going to do in the rushing attack.
Nah, but I mean, Jacobs, I can't trust him. I don't know if he's going to keep getting hurt or whatever. He's a good, reliable back, so I'm going to keep an eye on him.
All right. I think the only one other person I think that I was, just going back to Baltimore is Mark Andrews. I'm not sure. He had 5 targets with 3 for 20, 3 catches for 20 yards. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out going forward if he can get back and at least become a respectable, mid-tier tight end going forward. All right, man. So look, let's touch on a few of the injuries. I'm sure you guys heard about most being out multiple weeks, going on IR. Right,
man. Don't tell me about that, man. That hurt.
What's your thoughts on that, Terrence? You think in regards to who actually came in to spell them during that time and going forward, what that looks like for the 49ers backfield?
I see they brought the guy out, Mitchell, who I had never heard of before. To be honest, I stay away from the San Francisco backfield. I disagree. To me, they're like New England at times when you don't know who's going to be the star. You always trying to guess, who's it going to be this week. So yeah, I mean, you can go out and grab Eli Mitchell. He had 19 attempts, but he could have 3 attempts next week. So I'm not, if you gotta spend some of your cash, your waiver cash, I'm not putting too much into it, but I'm sure Jose has something else to say.
Yes, I do.
Let's hear it, Jose.
Yes, if he's in waiver wire, you need to pick him up. He is going to be average, maybe 115, 120 a game. Maybe 20 carries.
You heard it here
Go
first,
ahead.
ladies and gentlemen.
Lean back. I'm telling you the truth.
You heard it-
Go ahead.
you heard it
Take
here
notes.
first.
Take notes. Elijah Mitchell. Grab
You
him.
heard it here
And
first.
also grab Jermichael Hasty. Grab those two. They're going to be in the free agency. If you can't get Mitchell, get him just in case Mitchell get hurt. He's the next man in line. Wilson's still in IR. And Sherman, I got to wait until I don't know what's going on with him. I'm trying to get my
So you're not touching Sermon, huh? Sermon.
right now, nah. Right now, no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, they went up early. They had a huge lead over Detroit, which I think played a lot into the 19 attempts. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not spending that much money on them. I put in a couple of dollars to see what happens.
Okay. I'm more tempered. If I had Mostert, I'd like to pick him up, right? But I'm not so, because like you said, if he could string together a couple games, then I feel more comfortable with it. And just knowing how Shanahan likes to run his team, and they say it's the meritocracy where the best guy's gonna play. He could be what Trey Sermon is in 2 weeks, right? Just based on practice. So
Right.
it'll be interesting, see how that plays out. All right, man. So we got talked about Mostert and his situation and potential waiver pickups from that. I'm going to throw a couple names out at you guys, and I want to get your feedback on that. So we talked about Elijah Mitchell. What about Tim Patrick, Denver Broncos, with them going down to receiver, Judy going out with his injury, and they were expecting big things from Judy this year. Tim Patrick came in, and what do you think about him? We'll start with Jose first.
Me personally, or my expertise?
We going with your expertise.
That's the same thing.
No, it's two different things.
Look, so basically what he's telling you is don't trust what I tell you.
Right.
Something totally different.
It's two different things. All right, so me personally, I'm not even looking at Tim Patrick. I mean, he's not even on my list. But for football aspect and just what he brings to points and to PPR and to fantasy, you need to keep an eye on him. I think that he's going to be maybe 16 to 17 catches a game. 16 to 17 targets a game. Average maybe 86 yards, maybe one touchdown. But I would try to buy him if I wasn't the sleeper king.
You said how many targets a game?
About 13, 14.
This is with Teddy Bridgewater at the helm.
With Terry Bridgewater, yeah.
Okay.
How many of those attempts will be above over 8 yards?
Well, I don't know how many catches. Don't get me listening. I don't know how many catches. He might have like 5, 6 catches.
He had
4 targets. He had 4 targets in this past week.
Yeah, but Judy got hurt though. So who's gonna be number one? And then no offense, he's always getting hurt. So until I can see consistency, I'm gonna go with what I said, 14, 13. You want me to write that down too?
Oh man.
All right.
So what's your thoughts on the terms?
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
Any interest at all?
It depends. I mean, if you're in the league that's playing 3 wide receivers and a flex, then you probably want to take a look at him. He did have, I can't remember if it was last year, the year before last. He had a good run. I think he had a multiple touchdown game. So he's definitely talented. I don't trust Bridgewater to throw the ball down the field. So I'm keeping my eye on him, but I have no reason to add him or spend any of my waiver money on him. even in the 3 wide receiver league right now.
Right. All right. So a couple other names that I had off the press that as a lot of folks are talking about these days are Mark Ingram and James Winston. So Jose, you covered them, Mark Ingram last night. What we talked about, what our thoughts were. What's your take on the terms? He came out, had a nice game, but interesting enough, it was 2 other running backs that got work as well, right?
Right.
Even main man David Johnson got a TD, and then what's your thoughts on Mark Ingram?
Yeah, I mean, I think they got Lindsey back there too. It's just too many people in the backfield, but he may be the workhorse when you look at how many attempts did he have? I think it was over 15. I think it was over 15 attempts he had. Let's see here.
Mark Ingram had 20. Look, 26 attempts,
26 carries.
26 attempts, 85 yards, 1 TD.
Yeah.
But in true Mark Ingram fashion, 1 target.
That's right. Yeah, I mean,
Terrence sit up on that one. He said 23.
Yeah, right. It's like, goodness gracious, look like Derrick Henry out here. But I mean, but again, like I said, they were up early.
Right.
You can't really expect that too much from Houston this year, in my opinion. So I don't know. I'm kind of, you got to pick them up with how thin running backs are. You got to take a swing at them. Just off the share alone. 26, and the next closest was 8 with from Lindsey. So yeah, I think you can pick him up. Depending on your situation. I think he should be added in all 12-team leagues. I'll put that out there.
Right. I definitely think that the game script was in his favor, considering he had 26 attempts. We had another 8 from Lindsey, 3 from David Johnson as well. So that's almost 40 attempts between three different guys. So how often will Houston be in a position where they can run the ball that often and that effective? So it'll be interesting. So I definitely I have my eye on him in 1 or 2 of my leagues just because, like you said, the even if it's just to ride him, for the few weeks that he'll be active or be in that role.
Right. And guess what? They will play Jacksonville again, so you might get at least 1 good game out of them. It's looking like Jacksonville is going to be the guys to play all your players against. So,
yeah, buddy, that's for sure. And, all right, what about James Winston? We heard the miraculous prognostication from Sleeper King Jose and his record-breaking, prediction. What's your thoughts on Winston?
I mean, could we talk about what RG3 texted? I mean, tweeted about James Winston Johnson.
Crab legs.
Yeah, man, it was a terrible joke.
Oh, the crab legs joint.
Yeah, he don't brought up the crab legs again on my man Jameis after he has a good game, and then RG3 comes out and says, when Fitzpatrick gets hurt, he says, "Pick up the phone." Man, get out of here. But anyway, sorry guys.
We know that. Look, we know that band would be tripping. Like,
right.
Well, firsthand,
man.
Right. But I like James, man. And if somebody was smart enough to get him where you drafted him at, then congratulations. You came up on a winner. I think like you mentioned last week, Jose. He chucks the ball down the field. I mean, it would be even better if the only thing I'm worried about is, no Michael Thomas. I don't know who he's going to be throwing the ball to. But I was thinking Callaway might get some catches, but, he didn't really do too much. So, but yeah, I think for what he did, I think we can see more of that and who he did it against, Green Bay. So.
Yeah, that was an interesting game where basically Green Bay wasn't even competitive from the gate.
Yeah.
So I don't know
so confused.
Yeah.
So confused by that.
So Now, it'll be interesting, man. I definitely think that him teaming up with Sean Payton is a good thing. Their receiving core does not strike me as potent at all. However, he has Kamara back there, and he can use him in pretty much any fashion he sees fit for the most part. So I'm assuming they're gonna feed him both.
Yeah, I like what Jose said. Sean Payton is the quarterback whisperer.
Right.
Apparently,
Yes.
I mean, because he is. Because look at what Teddy Bridgewater did when he was there. You know what I mean?
Tyson Hill. Come on,
Tyson.
man.
I mean, exactly. I think he's just showing off now. He's like, look, give me anybody, and I can, So
right.
So
He said, how they say? If I tell you a duck pull a truck, then put the sucker out.
Right.
That's how Sean Payton going. Okay, man. So I think about some other names that's kind of intriguing to me. Like Cole Kmet, I'm thinking he may or may not have been picked up in a lot of leagues already. But if he's available, you guys picking him up, or you think he's worth a stash going forward?
Who's that?
Cole Kmet, the tight end from
that's a
Chicago.
tight end.
Oh,
his stat line from this past week was, with 7 targets, where he had 5 receptions, 42 yards.
Oh, who is this?
Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
From Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Yeah, they also got Jimmy Graham out there too, right?
Yeah, nah. I mean,
he had a moment where he had flashed like, oh man, that's Jimmy Graham. The guy who used to catch, he used to maul people and Debo people in the end zone. But then most games he don't give you what he gave you last week, which is two targets, 1 catch, 11 yards, right? So basically, give you a buck.
I mean, he's not on my radar right now.
Okay.
I'm not sold on that offense. Like I told you, I like the Montgomery. I like how he's running on there. Other than that, I mean, I don't like how they did Allen Robinson, man. I mean, I'm not sold on their offense yet.
All right, so let's see. Terrence, you got any anybody that you think may be worth a stash or a pickup? One person we didn't talk about was Tony Jones as a potential handicap. But you got anybody else? You got 1 or 2 people that you looking at that could be you can add and maybe deeper leagues or potential plug and play type of guys.
If I don't know if Christian Kirk is out there in your league, but I would definitely take a look at him. He had 2 touchdowns, and he's actually playing out of the slot this year with Kyler Murray. So last year he was on the outside. So this could be something that we could see a lot more of, with him coming out that slot position. So if he's still available, I would definitely go out there and pick up Christian Kirk if you need wide receiver. Definitely over Tim Patrick. That's out of the people we were talking about earlier.
Right.
And then I had one more too, and y'all might laugh at this one, but if you are, I'm in the 2 quarterback league, pretty much. So regardless of what Rivera has said, that they are not looking for another quarterback, I will be stashing Cam Newton just in case.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I just think, if you're in the 2 quarterback league and you get them 2 back to link up, you never know. Be a good come up. So I see Rodney writing that down.
Yeah, I'm writing that down. Cam Newton off the bench.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna get the call this year. So I don't know. We'll see. But Rivera said he came out and said that they not looking for another quarterback. I think he just said that yesterday.
So. All right, look. So we all Washington football team, homers. So you have any faith in Heineke at all?
No, I don't at all.
So what's the impact? What's the impact on the Washington skill players? You think
you got to downgrade everybody?
You downgrade everybody? Okay.
Yeah, you got to downgrade everybody, in my opinion. Um, even Gibson. That's just my opinion. I have McLaurin in a couple of leagues, so um, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
that
see.
definitely passed over quite a few folks to bring Gibson onto one of my rosters. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I
The
mean, we saw
only
what
one
the
I'm feeling
offense
great about.
was. I think we had one of the most. I think they said the most unproductive offense last year out of all of the teams. Um, so I don't. I mean, I don't think Heineken is going to turn it around. You know, he couldn't turn it around last year to me, so I don't see him doing it this year. So
Okay. All right, Jose. What about you? You got anybody that we didn't name that you ironed up or had some interest
Man,
in?
I've been waiting for this segment for so long. Hold up.
Look. I get my
Make sure
notepad
you
ready.
get your pencils,
What you got?
your pads together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get it ready. All right.
So I can
So
put in my
these are
last
players.
minute waiver claims.
So these are the sleepers that I have that could be in some free agencies. If you need to pick up somebody. All right, so Christian Kirk, you called it. Terrence, I got him on my list. Elijah Mitchell, Jermichael Hasty, Nelson Aguilera, Terrence Marshall. You need to stash him. I think he's going to really produce during the middle of the season, especially when it's about to be when your team in fantasies need a playoff burst. I think he's going to be there. He's their third receiver. Sterling Shepard, I know probably people picking him up. Sammy Watkins, Kenneth Gainwell from Eagles. He's their second running back right now. He does a lot of catching and a lot of
they don't have Scott no more.
They do, but he ain't had no carries this last game, and he's a big talk right now in the news for on the Eagle side.
Let's talk about Gainwell real quick before we move on. Gainwell, right? So he ended up with he had a touchdown reception and 9 carries for 37 yards. So with that, I guess the first question I ask: Are you buying the offense first and foremost for the Eagles, and that they could put up an actual potent offense
for me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm only thing I'm buying the offense is for the running backs right now. The wide receiver is going to be basically like dink and dunks until they can put some fear in the defense, and then they'll go over top. They got the speed to go over top, but I think they need to build Jalen Hurts' confidence. Right now, he's throwing a lot of short passes, too long passes, where he got athletes that can basically catch the ball and just go. So once he can get that confidence in throwing deep and throwing in the middle and reading that defense, then they'll start producing a lot more. But right now, for the first half of the season, I think it's going to be mostly running backs and tight ends.
Okay. All right, cool. Question: is the Saints defense real? Are they worth picking up? And I asked the same question for Philly. Is Atlanta that bad, or was Philly that good? Both for that's two teams that we weren't expecting to blow anybody out first game of the year in that matchup. Philly and both the Saints had dominant performances. You think they're real or fake?
Saints I'll pick up, but not Philly.
Okay. What about you,
same thing. Saints and I wish I would have kept Arizona. I was listening to y'all. I had Arizona in there first, and they went off.
Yeah, they went off.
So I think you didn't bring up Arizona, but I think Arizona defense might be real. Even though I understand Tennessee just had a bunch of players coming off COVID, so they didn't get a whole lot of full practices in, which could explain they just seem out of sync. But like I said, you got JJ Watt back there, and they already got good DBs. So if Arizona defense is out there, I would definitely take a look at them.
Okay, I think they're probably pretty well owned. Like if in a 12-team league, they probably are. But if they're not, I definitely think they're probably worth the pickup. All right, man. So
yeah, I'm seeing 9% rostered.
Okay.
So
What's Jameis look like right now?
James probably picked up by now.
Now I know with two quarterback leagues, he's definitely gone. Like all of my two quarterback leagues, it's a wrap. I see Kirk at 8%. Winston, I'm looking at right now. I see 35%. That's what I found. 35% on. So he's still out there, and probably most single QB formats as well.
Mm-hmm.
Aguilar is out there. Ingram is only 16% on at the moment. Let's see. So yeah, I think so that's good. All right, so to recap, I think it's safe to say that we all like the potential pickup of Jameis. We kind of split on the Elijah Mitchell 49ers backfield situation, kind of a wait-see attitude, but he's definitely, I know for me, as a most owner in some of my leagues, that I definitely be picking him up. I don't know if I'm plugging him in right away, but I think we can all agree on Christian Kirk as well going forward. Jose, you mentioned Nelson Aguilar. Mark Ingram is a question mark. Opportunity to get some few nice weeks in right before his fortunes may or may not change, either due to injury or just kind of burning out based on how they play him. Anybody else that I may have missed on the way out?
Yeah, KJ Osborne, third receiver from Minnesota. He's their slot receiver.
Let me ask you this. So thinking about Minnesota, right? I got one. I'm in one league where, based on where they've been drafted at, one guy ended up with both Thielen and Jefferson, right? So I got both one and two, number 1 and 2 receiver from Minnesota.
Wow.
Y'all buying them as a group. They're going back up again. Where Thielen he fell off big time. From what he was doing before. He won me a league one year. That the year went off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
so you think they got enough of an offense to put a third receiver in there?
I disagree. And it's not too many offenses out there where you got 3 receivers in the top 36 receivers in your league. I mean, I can't. I mean, Dallas maybe with Gallup.
Who's hurt name?
But I don't know. It's not too many receivers out there. No teams that's throwing it that much with a third receiver they're gonna have 3 receivers in the top 36. I don't see it. Sorry, Jose.
Hey, that's your opinion. My opinion. I mean, you got Cincinnati. They got 3 receivers. You got Arizona. They got 4 receivers. You got Minnesota 3 receivers. I mean, you got
no, but I'm saying, do you think that they're gonna end up in the top 36? Meaning, are they playable? Are they playable
for your fantasy? Wide receiver 1 or 2 or flex? Yeah. At least somebody to choose.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, so if you're in a pinch and you need a receiver, right? You can pick up Terrence Marshall and get some points, get at least 10 to 15 points off of him, just being the third receiver. Same thing with Osborne. Same thing with Ty Boyd or TJ Boyd, the third receiver from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah.
Like in a pinch, you can get points from them. I'm talking about fantasy points. For the whole season.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I mean, if you're right, so this segment is all about sleepers. This is all about picking up free agency on because you basically.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see you saying for the upcoming week.
Yeah, because you got your skeleton right now. You got your skeleton as your team after your draft. All you're doing is trying to figure out who's being benched, who's stepping up, who you can pick up on the waiver wire to help you go through the playoffs, and at the end of the season when everybody starts benching their starters. So you want to have somebody who's starting to pick up their steam. So at that time, you got to look at offense and how they're moving and who they're clicking and how who has the potential to move up or who has the potential to get the balls throughout the end of the year because of 17 games this year. So you're gonna have to get some reps and not wear everybody out. So I'm looking at backups. I'm looking at longevity for my team.
So think about this, right?
he did have 9 targets.
So they had 29
receptions.
targets between the three of them. Thielen had 10, Osborne had 9, Justin Jefferson had 9, and with that, both Justin Jefferson and Osborne finished outside of the top 36. They finished 41st and 42nd.
Now, if Irv Smith is there, then I'll say, nah, don't even look at Osborne. But they don't have a tight end right now. And then,
but again, though, I like we talked about earlier. Minnesota was down big. I don't think I know I didn't expect that. But that hurt Cook because Cousins just threw the ball for pretty much the whole game. So I guess if we do see another situation where a team is going to go down early, then it's a chance that third receiver might go off that week. So that's how you would know if you should stream that third receiver.
Right.
Okay.
So think about this. So before we close out, we got Jose, our resident Hail Mary expert.
Yes.
Right. So remember, he made a prediction that early on when we were talking about draft, super draft picks, he named De'Ami Brown for the Washington football team. I would like to tell you this, that he finished actually tied for the lead on the Washington football team targets in 4. He tied with McLaurin with 4 targets, right? So he didn't do much.
Hold on, McLaurin only got 4 targets?
He had 4. Look, De'Ami Brown had 4 targets, minus 2 yards on his 1 catch. So I will say this: he's getting some targets. However, he was nowhere close to being relevant. But
that's
with a new QB,
they kept trying to give them the ball. I mean, so I'm telling you, if you grab him, stash him. I think longevity towards the middle of the season, end of the season, that's when he's going to start shining. Same as Jared Patterson, their running back. During the middle of the season, he's going to start shining. He's going to start because 17 games this year. This is what people got to understand. They're playing 17 games this year. They got to really think about how they're going to balance if coaches are doing this, balance the health of the players. And then
and just for clarification, that's the lead amongst receivers. That's not counting tight ends and running backs. That's lead amongst receivers.
Yeah. And then I got this Hail Mary player. Keep an eye on him. Pharaoh Brown, tight end from the Houston. Pharaoh Brown. He had 5 targets, 4 receptions, 67 yards.
Oh,
and then my bold prediction: Zach Moss is going to get traded, or Robinson from Jacksonville is going to get traded.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, I'd like to say once again, thanks for joining us. I'm not even sure how confident he is in those picks terms, but we letting them fly. He said it was nothing but conviction.
I got nothing.
You have nothing to say about that one. All right, man. So as usual,
wake up tomorrow and somebody can get traded.
Well, look, stranger things have happened. Corey Davis,
exactly.
It's
Corey Davis.
So, oh man, thanks for joining us once again. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us on all social media platforms: Twitter, ITP_FFL _podcast, Facebook and YouTube at in the Pocket FFL as well. And you can find us on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Google Play Store, and the Apple Podcast app. So yeah, like us, rate us, give us a 5-star if you can, or at least say something good, bad, or negative, or indifferent, and share us when you get an opportunity. So on that note, get back in the pocket and take us out.
Week 2 coming up.
All right, folks. Peace.
Peace.